it's pretty important that we keep on tune and on track with our marketing. And that's why I'm coming to you every day, quite often, with a Facebook message, just to keep myself current and happening and going, and keep educating you guys on how to best do your online marketing and building connection online, because that's what it's all about. If you haven't worked it out yet, that is exactly where marketing is heading for all you guys that rely on workshops and face-to-face seminars and expos and, you know, sales calls one-to-one, or even when you drop in on people. You can't do it now. You just can't do it at all. But moving forward, there's going to be an even bigger expectation. Like your audience and your clients are being educated right now how to do their research and how to find and connect with people is online. And if you're not up and ready for that, you're kind of going to miss the boat. And your business and your service is going to miss out on some really important ways to get new clients. So what I'm talking about today in my series is debunking some marketing myths. And marketing myth number 3 is a beauty, and one of my favorite ones that I love to challenge business owners on is when they say to me, personal branding isn't necessary for myself or my sales team. They like to brand around their company versus their own personal branding. And while I can sit here and sort of tell you like, yeah, well, of course you want to do your own personal branding because, you know, you control your image rather than Google. People connect with you and they can build real authenticity with you and your message, and they like to deal with people, and it's all around who they can build relationships with, you know, who they know, like, and trust. And it's all about creating trust. The whole personal brand is about demonstrating your authority and your expertise and your experience in an industry, and then people get confident and they come and buy from you. I mean, that's what personal branding is all about, and it's very much about connecting from a vulnerable place. You know, I was on a seminar this morning and it was so cool. The presenter said, connection is created from real vulnerability and authenticity. And I thought, wow, that's it. That's it in a nutshell. And that is exactly why people are hesitant about getting on board with personal branding, is because they do feel vulnerable. They do feel exposed, and they feel like they could potentially be criticized. Somebody might not like them. And that's why we have so much trouble getting people to have their photos taken, have video made, or even just, you know, put up a personal post on their social media that's something about themselves from a personal level with their family, rather than just talking about company, talking about product, talking about features and benefits. So I challenge you as a business owner or as a salesperson, why aren't you connecting more with people from a human to human connection point of view? And I would suggest to you it's probably because you might be a little bit nervous about people seeing you in that light, about being personal, about being raw, about being connected and open. But that is exactly what you need to be for somebody to engage with you. Now, hey guys, I can see a few of you on here viewing, but it's actually not telling me today who's here. So if you've got any questions, please do answer them, because it's really important that, you know, that's all part of building connection, is that you can ask me a question, I'll happily answer it. Because people are very fearful. I think they feel like they're giving a piece of themselves up when they're being personal, and that's what personal branding is all about. But you think about some, you know, big major brands in the world. You think about Virgin, and Virgin Airlines are going through a horrific time at the moment, and Richard Branson sits at the front of everything that's to do with Virgin. He's like the master of personal branding, you know, but he can create empathy and real change in a heartbeat. He can ring up. His personal brand is what gets him, you know, somebody's going to bail out their company. Like, it's him on the phone personally getting the bailout, not the company. So it's really important that we understand just how far personal brand can take us in our businesses, and not just yourself, but anybody that's customer facing. Hi, Lisa. Nice to see you on here. Hope you're enjoying. Somebody who's customer facing in your company, really, you're doing them a disservice if you don't encourage them to build their own personal brand, to put your brand forward. Because I've got a stat here for you, for all the people that are doubting Thomas's. 78% of sales reps that use social media in a personal way outsell their peers. That's 78%. And I can guarantee you, I have personal experience with a story that I'll share with you in a second about this. But here's another stat for you. 82% of customers trust a company when their senior management are active on social media. And it's all about what I'm talking about, the transparency, about being real, about showing up and really creating a relationship with your audience that shows them that you actually give a shit about them and you really believe and you back your own products and your own services. So there's no better way to do that. I mean, you even think about your own buying experiences. When you buy something, particularly when you're on social media, if it's a company line and a company policy and the company's selling it, do you engage with that as emotionally as when there's an individual talking about that company and talking about the innovation and sharing the personal freedom and the personal aspects of that business and what it's done for them and the products and the services? Like, I can guarantee you it's people that take the personal line with their branding are the companies that are going to win out, particularly now. Hey, Kate, nice to see you here. Particularly now when we're in such a time of great turmoil and change, and people are really nervous and they're in a really distress. You've got a lot of people that are your potential clients that are in distress right now. I've been looking at stats like anxiety and depression, they're through the roof. So people, what craves that is actually connection. So if you're connecting with your target audience in a way that promotes empathy and not so much sympathy, but empathy and caring and understanding and not just saying we're in this together, which has been a bit of a catch cry of this COVID time, but it's true. We are in this together. And that's why I'm coming live every day and just sharing 10 minutes or 20 minutes of my knowledge and not asking for anything in return, because I really believe we're in this together. I've got skills that I can share with you and I'll share them. And, you know, I'm getting some wonderful feedback and it's creating some really nice opportunities and expanding my reach and my horizons. And if you're doing that with your business as well and personally marketing around your brand rather than just taking the company line, but actually really putting forward yourself and your sales team, you'll have far more traction than anything else that you put out from a company point of view with your promotions. So I really challenge you on this notion, and I really ask you, get to the bottom of what's the real reason why you're resisting on marketing yourself. Why are you resisting on getting your personal photos done or having a video about yourself or putting up things of a personal nature on your social media, when your social media is all about being social and chatting and being conversant and seeing if people like you and if you like them and getting an audience and attracting a really great audience to you. You know, that's what social media is all about. So as a business owner, that's how you should be communicating. So I've just, hey Curdy, how are you, darling? Speaking of Kurt, he's a landscape gardener. So I was actually just 2 nights ago, I did a webinar for a landscape gardening association. And we had a massive talk about that in part of the presentation, and people really resonated with this, is that when they market, they put up a whole lot of photos of really beautiful gardens and plants and designs that they've done. Like they're exquisite. It's amazing work. But I guarantee you, the next 2 or 3 people align who are competing with them on their quotes, they've got exactly the same kind of work. Most people are really good at what they do this day and age. So if everyone's as good as what they do, what do you think is the deciding factor for somebody to actually choose you as the person in your industry to buy from? It's you. It's you, or it's your customer-facing people, your sales rep, or the people on the phone, whoever it is that's in front of customers. That's the point of difference now, particularly now when people are in a more heightened emotional state, when 95% of our decisions are made emotionally in the sales process. Are they going to respond to a company selling, or are they going to respond to a person that they know, like, and trust and have a real deep connection with? Is that who they're going to trust? So, you know, it's a pretty good question. The other thing that disturbs me about why business owners don't let their sales team develop their own personal brand, and I've seen this personally happen to people that I know, is that they're worried they're going to lose them. They're worried that they're going to get too big for the brand. And I think that's the opposite of abundant. It's a pretty bad attitude to have with your business. And if you're frightened of losing your best sales team because they're going to get too big for your brand and you feel like they're going to get poached, well then be a better boss, be a better business to work for, have better incentives, really empower them, because all people, I can guarantee you, the best sales rep, they just want to feel a part of your business. And it's your job as the business owner to make them feel as empowered and as loved up and as personally involved in your business as possible. I mean, they're the ones out there selling it, for God's sake. So if you're helping them promote their their personal brand as their own kind of business entity, if they love working for you and if they feel like they're part of your business and if they're a part of that whole, reward system, then they'll stay with you. They'll stay with you for life if you treat them good enough. I'll give you a real life example of that. So my late husband was a sales rep in the caravan and camping industry. So he entered that industry about 10 years ago. And he had a very progressive boss who really quickly could see that he was a really likable, affable bloke, big Aussie man, you know, was selling caravans and camper trailers in the four-wheel driving world, and he just walked and talked and lived and breathed the product. And he's like, I can see this. I really see that how much you resonate with my customers. And at that point in time, they sold a lot in shows, but they were trying to move more into the online world. So he put him into a whole lot of DVDs with industry experts, and he catapulted him to rock star status in a matter of weeks. It wasn't even months, it was weeks. As soon as those DVDs went out into the general market, Steve's personal brand went from here as a nobody to here as a trusted authority, expert, rock star, signing autographs when he would go to shows. And that was his job, was to sell camper trailers at shows. So he went from being just a normal old, I'm the same as everybody else sales rep, to being, I'm a super duper rock star. Now that was paid, obviously, because they were doing the DVDs, but we jumped on that. You know, I'm in marketing, I was his partner, so we jumped on that really quickly, and we started marketing around that with his personal social media page. And the results he was getting was phenomenal. So he was able to start selling the products that he was selling for his boss. He was able to sell through his personal page and his personal profile. So he very quickly became the probably one of the most prominent sales rep in Australia, known Australia-wide, and actually people in South Africa and America started to get to know him too through the social media world. He was by far the most high-profile sales rep in all of Australia and had that rock star status. So that when he left that company for personal reasons, there was a bit of a falling out, and then went to the next company he worked for. He entered that company and was just catapulted to top of the heap, and was able to train up all the other salespeople in that company and show them how to also build their brand as well. Now, they didn't embrace it as much as he did because they were just coming from a different self-belief place. But for years later, he traded off that rock star status because they stopped doing he was actually squashed in his career, which is quite interesting, because his boss had a self-limiting belief about if he got too big, he would catapult the brand. So he got squashed in his second job, but he was still able to trade off his high profile and off all the work that we were doing on his personal brand, on his personal social media, that he was still able to be the most prominent sales rep in the country. So you know, this stuff really works. And this is where my whole connection marketing model was born. It was watching and observing how very, very normal people in an industry as a sales rep were able to become rock stars in their industry. And the point of difference wasn't the product they were selling or the service they were selling. It was the person selling the product. That is personal branding in a nutshell. And that is what I'm all about with connection marketing. And that is why I 1,000,000,000% believe my debunk the marketing statement that personal branding is unnecessary for a business owner or sales team. I think personal branding is 100% what differentiates you from everybody else, because there's plenty of people good in your space doing what they do, but are they you? And do they resonate with their following as much as you do? Are they willing to be personal and go out there and show empathy and understand the true pain points of you, of the audience? You know, whoever does that is the person who's left standing and is the person that will win the market share and the person that wins the business. So I hope that's really helpful to you. Connection marketing is 100% what I'm passionate about. As you know, I have my connection marketing course online right now, but I'm happy to have consultations with people that want to talk about this and do this better for their business, because it is the game changer for your business. I promise you. Think of any brand that you follow or something that you're really attached to emotionally, and I guarantee you that there's a person that heads up that brand or is a representative of that brand or a salesperson, somebody that is pushing their personal branding really strong, identifying with that brand, and that's why you love it. Not because of the product itself, but it's the person that you connected to. And being vulnerable and true and authentic and building that trust is the most easiest way to build a brand and to get customers. Hope you found this interesting. Hope you found it valuable. Thanks for all you guys who are here live. I really appreciate it. And if you really do like it, please hit like or share or, comment, whatever you like to do. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow when I come back at midday for some more learning. Catch you later.